Hello, you guys. Welcome to this week's episode of Wellness Wednesday. So today we're going to talk about your job. So for some people, that's a very physical, active job, and for some people, that requires a lot of sitting. So we're going to start off with the sitting portion of it, because sitting is really kind of impacting our health and how our body functions, and we might not all be aware of the benefits and of moving around and the risks of sitting and what it's doing to our health. So we're going to kind of start with that. So on average, Americans sit for more than 8 to 10 hours a day. So that is a really, really long time. So each American is averaging 10 hours a day, and this is having a huge effect on our bodies. So let's just kind of start and work our way through some of the systems, like our heart. When we sit, it actually increases our blood pressure, decreases our blood flow to our muscles and our joints, so our body doesn't burn as much fat. We actually have an increased risk of developing heart disease if we sit for more than 5 hours a day. Our pancreas, which is the organ in our body that is responsible for producing insulin and controlling our blood sugars, doesn't function as well. And there was a study that said if you sit for more than 8 hours a day, you are at a 90% risk of developing type 2 diabetes. So sitting isn't just bad for our hearts and bad for our pancreas. We got to get to move because it's actually affecting how our body is functioning in the long run. Colon cancer. By sitting, it really affects our health of our colon. Our body isn't moving. We have compression in our abdomen. Things don't move through. So they actually found that if you sit too long, you increase your risk of colon cancer by 30%. You increase your risk of uterine cancer by 66%, and you increase your risk of lung cancer by 54%. That's crazy, just from sitting too long. So we really want to make sure we're getting up and moving. Again, with the abdomen, the digestion, it's just not functioning as properly. We compress our intestines, slows down our digestion, creates what we call gut dysbiosis, so our body just doesn't function as right. We can lead to cramping, bloating, heartburn, all not really good things. So just again, from sitting too much, these things can occur. Our brain actually doesn't get as much oxygen and blood flow when we sit too long. So that can kind of lead to our body not producing the happy, feel-good chemicals. So if you're feeling a little bit more depressed or just a crabby mood, again, sitting too long can affect that. Posturally, we all know if we sit too long, we can get bad posture, especially with the computer work. We're hunched forward, we strain our neck muscles, we strain our backs. So we really want to make sure we're using good ergonomics if we do have to sit, 90-90, possibly using a standing desk, getting up and moving. These are all things we can help to do. Your back, your discs in your spine are actually really important for being shock absorbers, and when we move, those discs absorb nutrients and blood flow to help make them strong. So when we sit too long, the discs actually become affected and become more fragile. So you're actually, if you sit for more than, I can't remember the exact set, but I think it was 5 hours a day, you increase your risk of developing herniated discs by 40%. So that's huge, again, because of all the desk jobs we have. Muscle degeneration. So when we're not standing, we're not using our ab muscles, we're not using our low back muscles, so they become weakened, which can lead us to low back pain as well. Our hips get nice and tight when we sit for too long. Our hip flexors tighten up, so we don't have as much range of motion in there. So, all of these things just start to compound. When we don't have the circulation, we can get the varicose veins. We're not walking, we're not standing and moving as much. We don't have compression within our bones, and that compression helps build our bone density. So bone density can actually decrease if you're sitting too long, and especially if you're a woman. If you're a woman over your 30s, we want to be moving and be active and get that stress on our bones so we don't develop osteopenia or osteoporosis in the future. So sitting too much can definitely affect your body and take years off your life. And studies have found that if you're sitting less than 3 hours a day, you can actually add 2 more years onto your life. So sitting is literally the new smoking, and it's starting to slowly but surely degrade our bodies and, over time, killing us. So we got to be active and move. So most studies are finding we are sitting far too long to have 30 or 60 minutes combat worth of exercise combat to take away the benefits of it. So things you can do: try getting a standing workstation if that's possible. Maybe parking at the end of your parking lot and walking all the way up, and taking the stairs and taking a longer way down to your desk. I have patients all the time who will set an alarm on their computer saying, oh, get up, move, get up, stretch, do my neck stretches at my desk. So these are all good ways you can start to incorporate movement throughout your day, so you're not just sedentary and sitting there the whole time. So sitting is bad. But let's talk about the people who don't necessarily sit all day, the people who are very active and standing, the people who have to wear equipment on them, like firefighters, police officers, where they're wearing these big heavy belts or these oxygen tanks, or they're going to lift people up and necessarily not maybe in an ergonomic position. So how does that affect you as well? So those people, the biggest thing is training your muscles to become stronger, especially the muscles that you're going to strain. So especially your back. You know, we all talk about proper lifting position, and that's great when you can. But in the meantime, we have to really train our core muscles, train our low back, train our glutes, our quads, to make our bodies stronger, so when we are wearing a heavy equipment or doing gear, our body is able to function optimally. Some work will provide, SI support belts, and that's fabulous. So definitely talk to your work. Let them know. And most companies are really, really good with this, knowing the good ergonomics, but just to be mentally aware of it and saying, okay, maybe I'm not doing this the best. What can I do to make my posture better, my strength better, so I don't injure myself? Because we don't want you to get hurt on the job. So yeah, that was kind of today's Wellness Wednesday. That was a lot of info in a short period of time, so I hope it helped. If you guys have any questions of like what to do or what is proper sitting technique or posture technique, or how can I kind of combat this, reach out, let Kelsey or myself know, and we are happy to always give suggestions and help. So hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday and a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.